So, you die to him, you break your rare ring of sacrifice if you happen to know to put one on there, but you don't actually end up at your bonfire. This is also the one time in the game where this happens, and I do think that this is a really cool thing, so it's like, there's so much to this part of the game. Like this level in particular sort of has some of my favorite things in the game, and some of my least favorite things in the game. Like, if this had been done earlier in the game and had sort of been signposted a bit better, like, you have no reason to believe that Seath is just going to fucking destroy you. Like, Seath the Scaleless has been mentioned, but there's not too much in there, you know, there's not too much in the game saying that, hey, this guy will actually kill you. And in fact, the only place in the game where you really hear about what's going on here and why Seath was invincible there is after you've already died to him. So it's like, I really love the idea of dying and being transported to a totally new bonfire, and in fact one that you can't warp away from. Let me just make that clear. This bonfire is cut off from the others, cannot warp, like when we were in the Painted World. I think that's a really cool idea. I just think the execution of it was kind of terrible, you know? Putting it after a must-lose boss fight just makes it feel so cheap, and I wish it had been done in a different way. I guess that's all I really want to say about that. That said, this may end up being our home bonfire for a little bit, so I think I'm going to kindle this thing. I also really like this idea, the same thing we saw in the Painted World, of after you get the warp, there are certain areas that you can't warp away from. You sort of have to experience them all at once. I think that that's something that Dark Souls 2 really lacked, and that it probably would have been a lot better if it had sequences where it just said, hey, I know that most of the game you can warp away, you can go wherever you want, do anything, but you really need to sit down and do all of this at once. I think that's really one of the major failing points of Dark Souls 2, and I mean, let's go through this area and see why it works so well in this game, kind of being forced to go through and focus on this one area here. So yeah, let's check this place out. Again, this is something that really doesn't happen anywhere else in the game. It's a really unique experience, and like, there are a lot of quote-unquote unique experiences in the second half of Dark Souls. I'd say a lot of them missed the mark pretty badly, but this one is definitely one of the more effective ones. So, yeah, let's take a look. The first thing that you will notice coming around here is Sneeple. We have a callback to the Sen's Fortress area, and another sleeping snake person, because we did actually see a few of those in Sen's Fortress. That kind of ties that area and this area together thematically. We also see that there are some hollows in our cell, so might want to be careful about that. Oh, since my rare ring of sacrifice is broken, I should really go put Hovel's ring back on. I believe that once a rare ring of sacrifice breaks, it's gone forever in this game. I think in Dark Souls 2 and 3 you can repair them, but in this one, you just get one shot, you have to find others. I might be wrong about that, someone could correct me if I am, but I believe that's the case. Same thing with the Ring of Favor and Protection, since it breaks when you remove it. I believe you only get one of those per game. Anyway, let's get fighting. There are 3 of these guys in our cell, and once again, we're in a very tight corridor. This level likes putting these guys in really tight situations with you. But, once again, the Zweihander is going to make short work of a lot of this. Oop, he had a quick attack. Oh, God. And then I whiffed. Really should just listen to my own advice, you know? Get a Caduceus Kite Shield from him, that's cool. Ow. I was not expecting that jump attack to come out so quickly. There we go. So, now we've made friends with our neighbors, and there is a door here, but it's locked. There is, in fact, another door here, but it's also locked. So, we're in very, very tight quarters around here, and now that I think about it, I'm probably really screwing up some event flags doing this, but oh well. It's tough to show off everything in a Dark Souls game, especially with all of the preparations that are required. So really, the only thing that we can do here is, or the only thing that we can even see here is this Snake Man. And something that may not be obvious, but kind of works because the game doesn't give you any other options, is that you can actually attack this guy from behind with all of your weapons and kill him. And pick up the Archive Tower cell key. So let's take a look at that. In our keys section, shocking. Key to the cell of the Duke's Archive Tower. The Archive Tower, once a trove of precious tomes and letters, became a prison after the onset of Seath's madness. The Serpent Men who guard the prison know not the value of what they hide. In the basement of the tower are the writhing mistakes of the terrifying experiments which were conducted here. So that's kind of a scary thing. We get a little bit more insight into why this place is such a mess. We see that it's actually... Oh, that requires a secondary key, huh? We see that it's actually Seath going mad, and that this place is falling into disarray and seems to be crystallizing over. Oop. Walking out of the cell. Seems to activate a cutscene that causes these mistakes to come after us. Whoa. Getting out, of course, brings these Spider-Men, or these Snake Men to us, but they don't seem that interested in fighting us for some reason. And the reason for that is that those creepy mistakes seem to be coming for us. Maybe we should follow those guys. I think that is, again, one of the really cool uses of the scripting. Ow. Hey, stop it. Oh, Jesus. So, the AI is being, you know, AI about this. I think they aggro back onto me. But, once again, Zweihander supremacy. Oh god, they're coming. So yeah, these things are extremely powerful, but they're also very glass cannony. Oh god. If they grab you like that, you are in trouble. That said, they cannot actually get you, because they can't take ladders. Double unfortunately, the only way that you might have been able to get out of here from here is locked. So I guess that's why those guys were lamenting their fate. Illusory wall? I don't agree with you. So yeah, there's we're in a bit of an awkward situation here with that music playing and with those things aggroing us. They appear to be moving away. But of course, there's still a ton that we can see down there. I wonder if I can make this. Yeah, there we go. Maiden outfit, huh? I don't like the look of that. Let's see if there's anything to say about this maiden outfit. Hope I didn't just... There we go. Maidenhood. White hood worn by traveling maidens is part of their formal attire, regardless of rank. It is soft and well made, but does not offer much in the way of that defense, making it ill-suited in battle. Formal attire, formal attire, formal attire. Oop. I appear to have gotten an extra Estus flask because someone else kindled that. And then we also got the white seance ring. Now, it's worth noting that this priestess this maiden outfit is what Rhea of Thorland was wearing. And that may make you worry a little bit. White seance ring. A divine ring entrusted to the head bishop of the Way of White, an apostle to Allfather Lloyd, uncle to Lord Gwyn. It grants additional attunement slots. The head bishop of the Way of the White is the guardian of law and caste, and one of the great royals of Thorland. So then, we also have this question. What is this ring, which is apparently, like, the only one of its kind in existence, doing in a jail cell over here? There's a lot of questions to be asked about this area, but I think I'm going to rest at this bonfire real quick. It is worth noting that the hollows over here respawn, but they do not re-aggro, if that makes sense. Hello. Yeah, I believe this guy is actually more interested in running away, as will be his counterpart. And as long as the music is going, those squid things are going to come for you. So we're gonna have to find a way to deal with those things and just shut that damn music off, honestly. Bothering the shit out of me. But first, I don't know if they can go into my cell. This might be the best way for me to hide here. You coming? Oh god, why? This is about to go really badly. Wow. Now, I think these mistakes, these creations, will actually attack these guys if they catch them the first time, but if they come back down, I think their AI is a bit wonky. And in something that I'm not sure if it's a glitch or not, you can actually turn off, or if you die in this area, the music will actually turn off and those guys will not aggro you. Sort of a weird thing. Especially given that these dudes still, like, run away. It's strange, and I don't really understand it. Damn. So yeah, these guys will come up to the top, and yeah, I believe that because the music isn't playing, the mistakes aren't coming. So let's see if these guys want to come down. I honestly have no idea what their AI is going to do. It's a bit of, you know, an issue that it's a bit of like, there's a really cleverly scripted sequence here, but it kind of falls apart as you go along, like once you die and the scripting is slightly different. I don't know if this is what they wanted it to look like or not. I also really like this touch that some of these jail cells, because the staircase here is coming away from this, are just held up by basically other doors that someone laid out. This guy's waiting over here. I believe I should be able to hit him through this door. Yeah, there we go. I love clipping. Whoop! Unfortunately, he can hit me too. Thinks he's so cool with the shield and shit. Yeah, luckily the cell key that we got off of that one dead stake actually hits, or can actually open a lot of the doors in this area, so Don't believe there is anything in here, but it is worth keeping in mind if we find other locked doors. Around here, it actually is a lot more messy. Books are kind of knocked off the shelves and open. And I think the implication is that these snake people here have a lot less respect for the items in the archive than the Crystal Soldiers or the Maguses or Magi. It's definitely Magi. Than like the sorcerers that are up here do. This place is certainly starting to fall apart, despite the nice setup that it originally had. There we go. Obviously, there's another key that we need to find around here somewhere, so we should definitely go looking for this. Oh, God. They keep getting me with those quick punches, those quick pushes, but as soon as I hit them with this and knock them down, it's pretty much over. Damn. Thought I'd be able to get that there, but was not able to. Oh, thought he was going to come for me there. When the AI is more clever at baiting you into attacks than you are at them. There we go. Oh, that's just closing this door. Anything interesting over here? Does appear to be a drop. And, maybe a guy over here who seems to be patrolling. Actually seems to be looking for me now that I look at that. But, unfortunately for him, that puts him in very good position. Get the shit kicked out of him. And we also get the Archive Prison extra key, because there have been a few locked doors here that we haven't been able to get to. Extra key to a cell in the Duke's Archive Tower. Perhaps the Serpent Men were careless, for there are several keys. For there are several keys scattered about which fit Archive Tower cells. So, it's interesting that there isn't just one master key to this place. And that they seem to just be strewn about all over. Because the Serpent Men don't seem to be very bright. It seems like the Hollows are, in the very least, obedient, whereas the Serpent Men are powerful, but not very bright. And that's interesting. Like, even in an area that has, you know, two different types of enemies that may act similarly, there's still noticeable differences and noticeable story differences. We also see what was once clearly a very interesting mechanism around here that seems to have fallen apart and rusted over entirely. This may have been an interesting contraption like an elevator or something of the sort, but it's certainly fallen completely apart at this point. And where the floors of the archive before were very cleanly, where, you know, it was disorganized, but it was still together, it was still well cared for, this part is very clearly fallen completely into disrepair. And you get this idea that, like, the man-serpents and these strange creatures that don't seem to be attacking are very much different from the stuff that we saw up top, or in the previous area around here. And it's important to keep those kinds of distinctions, you know, in your brain. This can be a bit of a tough encounter, so hopefully I can take out the Sneeple quickly. One I really want is this one, because... Hey, I get... Oh, shit. I was not expecting them to attack that much. Alright, I think I can take care of this now because I'm able to zone them like this. Woohoo! And that's why we take fast roll, friends. Because that definitely just saved me from a lot of damage there. Two-handed builds very much require you to be quick on your reflexes and be very, to take advantage of the light rolls and the extra invincibility frames. That said, there is certainly a noise going on right now. Ah, the giant door key. So we are able to get out of here now that we've completed this encounter, but those noises down there really make me feel a bit uneasy. Maybe we should check that out. Archive Tower Giant Door Key. Key to the giant door leading out from the uppermost floor of Archive Tower, which now serves as a prison. The key's design resembles not a key of a prison, indeed. Resembles not the key of a prison. Indeed, the tower was once no prison at all, but a trove of precious tomes. We get this idea that obviously this gigantic library has been taken over for some purpose, and the snake skin on this contraption is sort of terrifying. I do love how, like, ramshackle this whole thing seems to look. This is an interesting use of, like, a unique asset in the game. But clearly we get this idea of subverted purpose in here, and that perhaps Seath's mindset is not quite the same as it used to be. All that said, now that the music isn't playing, these things do seem to be a lot more docile. They do still attack you, so you do have to be very fucking careful. But it does seem to be in a much more defensive way. They're clearly not chasing us here. And in fact, whenever we try to lure one out, it will go back immediately. But this definitely seems to be more protective. Ugh. God, that crying sound is very unsettling. Honestly, everything about these things is really unsettling. They also do a fuck ton of damage if they grab you. Like, I will die if a single one of these things gets me. So I am trying to be very, very careful about this. Even aggroing two of them is dangerous. Like, I am just giving them all the room in the world here. And they drop humanities. There are a lot of very unsettling implications about the nature of these mistakes. Especially if we consider that I believe there was a mention at some point that we've seen of maidens being kidnapped for reasons, like, by crystalline golems for reasons that no one really understands. We may not have seen that exactly, but that is an item description in this game. And yeah, that seems to be the ultimate fate of these maidens that have been captured, is being turned into these creatures. And in fact, gross. I'm not sure if this one is just not attacking me or if it's, like, stuck in a corner. Yeah, it's definitely stuck in a corner. That wants to get me. This one, however, very clearly is the cause of this crying that we're hearing. With a very human voice. I think it's best for everyone here if we... Oh wow, that one has a lot of health. Miracle, bountiful sunlight, and soothing sunlight. So both of these appear to have been special ones. And the miracles that they dropped... Special miracle granted to maidens of Guinevere, Princess of the Sun, restores high HP for self and vicinity. The miracles of Guinevere, the princess cherished by all, grant their blessing to a great many warriors. Special miracle granted to the maidens of Guinevere, Princess of the Sun. Gradual HP restoration for self and vicinity. The miracles of Guinevere, the princess cherished by all, grant their blessing to a great many warriors. So, clearly, many of Seath's experiments involved experiments on Guinevere's maidens, which is unfortunate and kind of disgusting.